So I've been getting a ton of questions lately and I wanted to shoot this quick video for you. I've had a lot of people asking me, hey Cody, is now the time to buy or could now be the time to sell? I've been talking to a lot of sellers or homeowners in the Utah real estate market and they're asking me this question thinking, hey, is now the time to actually sell? Are we at the top of the market? Should I get out now? I'm going to share some thoughts with you here in this video. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly about this situation and what you should know about the market and whether or not you should be buying real estate, selling real estate, or maybe not doing anything, right? So as we jump into this video, the first thing you've got to know is that real estate is a long game. Real estate is something that you want to purchase and then hold on to for the long term. Now, there are certain instances and different cycles in real estate. So sometimes prices will be up and then they're going to go down, right? In this particular instance, I don't think that prices are going to go down, at least not all that much, but there's still some things to take into account if you are a homeowner and, based on your own situation, what you should do with that real estate. So real estate is a very long game. It's not something you just buy it, it doubles overnight. You sell it, you cash out, and you're happy, right? Real estate is something that's also unique in the fact that you have to have a place to live. Whether you're renting a place or you buy a place, you need a place to actually support your family. So that's one thing that makes it really unique about, as an asset class is that it actually supports, you and your living situation. It's not like a stock or like a company where you just own a piece of it, but it doesn't really affect you on a day-to-day basis other than hoping that price goes up, right? So having a house is actually something that's necessary for us humans to actually survive. So that makes it have a really unique perspective. Real estate is something that is really slow at moving. It goes up pretty slow. Other than the last 2 years, it's gone up pretty quick, but generally speaking, it goes up pretty slow and then it will come down pretty slow in most cases as well. So that's kind of a little bit of what I'm expecting to see in this market. I don't think we're going to see a ton of price increases. I think the appreciation has mostly hit at this point, but I do think there's a bigger chance that we could possibly see prices come down maybe 5 or even 10% over the next 6 to 12 months. Now, if you've got a house that's at 700,000 and it comes down, let's say 10%, well, now that $700,000 house is only 630. Now that's a pretty big drop, right? That's $70,000. I don't want to make it sound like that's not a big drop, but in relative thinking, that actually only takes us back to the fall of 2021 based on today's prices here in May of 2022. So if we came down 10%, we'd be back to the pricing that we saw last fall. So for how quickly prices have gone up, it would take, 5-10% is only going to take us back a couple months from where the pricing was just a little bit ago. So real estate is still going to be expensive. I really don't see any reason why we'd drop further than that unless things continue to just get worse and worse and worse, which, who knows, maybe they could. I don't expect that to happen. So that's a little bit about my perspective on kind of where the market's headed. Now, let's say that you are a homeowner and you're thinking, hey, is now the time to sell? Should I actually get out? Well, that depends, right? Do you have another place to live? Are you moving out of state, right? Are you going to upgrade? Are you going to downgrade? What's your situation? It really, really depends. If you're looking at just, possibly selling and you're like, oh, I'm going to go rent. Well, maybe that could work, but you might be giving up on a lot of benefits in the long term. So perhaps that's not the best idea. Maybe you're moving out of state, right? If you're moving out of state for a new job or to get back to family or whatever the reason may be, then sure, it maybe makes time to sell. You sell, you move on, you take that cash that you've earned, that equity, and you put it into a new asset and a new investment somewhere else, right? Whether that's another house or the stock market or more real estate in your new city. So that might be something that's worth investing in. And also, let's say that you're in a position where you're like, man, I'm thinking about, downsizing. Is now the time to do that? Well, yeah, possibly could be, right? If you're thinking about downsizing, now might be the time to make that move, to sell your house, capture the equity that you've got in that property, and then downsize. Even though that property you're downsizing to is going to be more expensive, you're still going to capitalize on that property because you're pulling a whole bunch of equity out of the property that you currently have that you're selling, right? So in that particular instance, it makes sense to potentially sell your house. There's a lot of factors that come into play with this, and I think it's something that's really important to keep in mind is that it really depends on your situation. Now, let's say that you're looking at, just kind of trading straight across, right? And you're thinking, hey, I'm going to own this house. I'm going to live here in Utah for the next 5-10 years. Honestly, I think it's probably better to just keep your house. I wouldn't worry about timing the market, trying to sell out, trying to save, a 5 or a 10% drop, and then going out in the market and renting and just throwing that money away, or potentially even, sitting on the sidelines waiting for a better deal. I just don't think the opportunity cost is there, to be entirely honest, to really have that make sense. to summarize this video, I think that if you're thinking about making a move, if you want to purchase a home, you should probably just be patient. Wait for that right deal to come up. Wait for that dream home to come up. If it's something you're going to be living in, or if it's an investment, just be patient. Wait for that deal that has really good numbers, that is really going to be a good long-term property. If you think about selling the property, I would probably only do that if you have a reason to sell it. If you're looking to downsize, if you're looking to move out of state, I think those are two great reasons why you would potentially sell in this market. And if it's a real estate investment property, let's say that you're a landlord and you're thinking about selling, that's a little bit of a different scenario, right? Maybe you want to have some cash on the sidelines in case prices do drop. Just keep in mind that if you don't do a 1031 exchange on that property, you're going to have a pretty big tax hit on whatever gains you have in that property. So that might not be worth it, right? So just as an example, let's say that you're a real estate investor and you sell a property and you get a $200,000 gain. Let's just say that just for the purpose of this example, you have to pay 25% capital gains taxes. That means you pay $50,000 in capital gains taxes, and now you have $150,000 in your pocket to potentially deploy into a new home. Well, in order to have that make sense, really you'd need prices to come down 15, 20, 25% to even get close to having that make sense, at least in my opinion, because of the tax gain that you're going to pay on that property rather than just waiting, holding on, or potentially doing a 1031 exchange. So I think that cashing out is probably not the best move for most people. In some circumstances it might be, but always 1031 exchange your money is for these investment properties so you can continue to roll that money up, tax-free. That's the whole purpose of the tax code. That's why it's written that way, and it's the most powerful wealth building tool out there. I've personally used it and it's been a game changer. So hopefully this video is helpful for you guys. This is kind of me just, sitting down here for 10 minutes, talking through my thoughts, talking a little bit about the market. Is it the time to sell? Is it the time to buy? Should you sit around, do nothing? There's a lot of different scenarios right now. Everybody's in a different situation. That kind of brings me to my next point. If you're thinking about making a move here, or you already live in Utah and you're thinking about buying, selling, investing in real estate, reach out to me. I'm a local real estate agent here. I love helping people move here. I love helping people buy, sell, and invest here locally. Even if you live in one city, you want to move to the next city over, that's something I specialize in, and I'd love to hear from you. So my information will be here on the screen. You can call me, text me, or email anytime. I'd absolutely love to chat with you about your individual situation, and I'll just give you my honest truth, right? I'm not going to try to sell you a house. I'm not going to try to talk you into selling your house, or buying a new one or whatever. I'm just going to give you my honest opinion based on your own situation to hopefully, provide some value to you. So with all that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed this one. Share it with a friend or a family member who might also enjoy this video. And with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.